Matthew Heines of Encounters USA. And if you don't know it, we do aliens, we do Bigfoot, and we do Dogman. If you've seen Cascade Bigfoot Blood Mystery, then you know that in 2021, Igor Burtsev and I found a mysterious substance that resembled blood while we were camping in the eastern Cascades of Washington State. If you've seen Cascade Bigfoot Chihuahua Triangle, then you know that a year later, I returned to what I call the Chihuahua Triangle. I interviewed a local reporter as well as local inhabitants who say that there is one suspect for the Cascade Blood Mystery, and that suspect is Bigfoot. If you've seen Cascade Bigfoot Blood Mystery remote viewed, then you know that I asked Dr. Simeon Hein and his Opening Minds Institute remote viewers to take a look at the Cascade Bigfoot Blood Mystery and see if they could find any kind of explanation for how that blood showed up in the tent. I also asked professional psychic Tish Paquette, and the results were amazing. And finally, in Cascade Bigfoot Blood Mystery Blood Trails, we are going to use science to hopefully help us find the answers to the Cascade Bigfoot Blood Mystery. So welcome to Cascade Bigfoot Blood Mystery Blood Trails.
Women, offered themselves to me. I've had guys that are accused of cheating or accused of stealing.
First thing we need to do is we need to actually check out the DNA. I have talked to the University of California, Davis veterinary lab, and they are the top veterinary lab in the world, especially for what we're looking for. They do police identification of blood samples. That is hard scientific data. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to send this blood into the UC California, Davis. So here's what, I have blood that we recovered under strange circumstance. We're testing it for I'm testing it for a documentary. They said they only do human-like DNA testing, and if I wanted animal-type DNA testing, it would have to come through you guys. So I need to have this tested, and I have no idea what kind of blood it is. I was camping with a guy. We were out doing a Bigfoot calling, and the last day we were there, we went to pack up the tent, and we were right by the tent the entire morning. There's no way anybody could have got into it. And then I was told by a DNA expert how to recover it with swabs. Get that blood tested. Those samples. Left it on some of it on the floor of the tent, have them tested. And DNA solutions will take at least a month and a half, maybe 2 months. And I'm trying to get this documentary finished. I'd really like you guys, because you guys do a veterinary test, and the best they could come up with is whether or not it's a mammal. So, given all that, can you tell me the process of submitting, who I would send it to and all that?
multi-dimensional. Out of the ordinary. Not from here. Just like a unusual frequency that you wouldn't normally encounter, just like an unusual situation. I'm just gonna drop Bigfoot.
I'm not sure if that's something we would be able to assist with, because it sounds more like you're looking for like a breed identification. What I would say, can you go to our website and go to the contact page?
Yep.
Use the click here to email function, and then put all of that into an email, and then I can forward it on to my director of service and see if that's something that we are able to assist with.
Okay, so you said that you couldn't do it for what reason?
I'm not sure if that is something we can, like I said, that's got to be something that the director of service would be the one that would,
Yeah.
look at the situation and let you know if that's something he can do. He would also be the one to let you know the turnaround time and, all of that information. Definitely help with that, and I would definitely go ahead and get that sent over, and we'll see what we can find out for you, okay?
Okay. You have his
But
name?
you can just send it to the customer service email. I monitor that, so when it comes through, I'll know,
Okay.
and I'll get that sent over to
Okay.
him.
You used the word land a couple times. Can you describe the land?
Okay, so, like trees, and then there's sort of a flat, sandy, and I think there's water. Like a riverbed. Like a sandy riverbed, and then there's like a hill that goes up, or pretty steep. Yeah, very pungent It's like a mildewy smell. Probably be people. Like when something gets wet. And it's in a humid environment. Although the temperature seems to be cool right now. Yeah.
How's that? When do you need it there? As soon as possible. Tomorrow. It's fine.
Can I give you another cue?
Yeah.
Purpose.
Purpose. And purpose. Exploration. Contact. Learning. Knowledge. That's where, coming before preparation. I don't know how to spell. Preparations for coming events.
So of course there's the issue of whether or not we're telling the truth, and how do you test for that? Well, that's easy. You take a polygraph test. Once I had successfully sent my blood samples to the University of California, Davis, I needed to do another test to establish the fact that I had nothing to do with the Cascade Bigfoot blood mystery. In order for me to do that, it was necessary for me to take a polygraph test. Of course, I was not going to need just any polygraph test. I was going to have to find someone with enough credibility that would establish I had nothing to do with that blood in the tent of June 23rd of 2021. In order for me to find somebody who met all of those criteria, it was going to be necessary for me to travel to Post Falls, Idaho and visit Mr. Ted Pulver. I was comforted to see that, like myself, Mr. Ted Pulver was an ex-paratrooper from the 82nd Airborne. He also had years of spy hunting and lie detection experience both in the military and in civilian fields. He's also well respected by police departments throughout the Pacific Northwest. into Ted Pulver's office and saw that he was already engaged in a very important phone call.
Anybody else looking at that thing? And it kept coming back deceptive. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, man, but there's something going on. So, yeah, I wish I could tell you something else. Whatever you think works. All I could tell you is hell of a deceptive test. So, yeah. Normally, if I get close to non-deceptive, you know, I could grade with some leniency and I could give you some suggestions, but man, I'll tell you, that thing came back hard DI. Well, a polygraph's like a pregnancy test. It's either deceptive or truthful. You can't be a little bit pregnant. So, man, it came back hard on you. It was harsh.
Once Ted got off the phone, he sat down with me for a few minutes and explained to me some of the ins and outs of lie detecting.
Women, you know, offered themselves to me. I've had guys that are accused of cheating or accused of stealing, and they'll offer me money or something like that. And, you know, unless they're willing to pay for my complete retirement and willing to pay for all the money I can make for the rest of my life, which they aren't willing to do, then I sort of laugh and say, well, can you pay me about $1 million, and then I'd be more willing to give you the judgment that you want.
Before we actually got started, Ted Pulver was kind enough to explain to me how the polygraph system works and what it measures.
Okay, let me educate you about polygraph, because polygraph is not about anxiety. Okay, everybody that sits in that chair is anxious. It's not about nervousness. It's about repression. Okay.
As Ted Pulver was explaining all of this to me, I was doing my best not to look nervous or repressed.
So when a person comes on in, they think the fact that they're anxious, that their heart's beating a little bit faster than normal, the fact that they think that, gosh, I always fail tests, you know, at school. They have tests taking anxiety, and they always do bad when there's a test date. But when they're able to take the same test at home at their own leisure, they always do a lot better. Well, this is more about repression. Repression is what takes place. I'll give you an example. When your mother baked you some cookies, okay, and you smelled those delicious cookies, and she put them in a glass jar and then put it up on the top shelf, and she said, not till Sunday dinner, all right? And then you got a sister or a brother, okay, maybe both, all right? And your mom steps out of the kitchen, and maybe you and your sister and your brother climb up there, and you remember reaching on up there, and you just grabbed it and you brought it down, and you reached in there, and maybe your sister and brother reached in there and grabbed a cookie, and then you ran to your closet and you ate a cookie, and you put the jar back up on the shelf, and then later on you looked around and you went back up there and you reached and you grabbed the glass jar and you took another cookie. Come Sunday, there's no more cookies, okay? Between you and your brothers and sisters, you ate all the cookies. So then your mother looked you straight in the eye and said, did you eat those cookies? Okay, well, in the back of your head, you could see yourself reaching up to that glass jar. So you got to make a decision, because your brain will never lie to you, okay? Even if you're a sociopath, your brain will never lie to you. A sociopath is a used car dealer, a person that will sell refrigerators and freezers to Eskimos.
Yeah.
Okay. A psychotic, okay, is a person that literally believes that there's a white rabbit sitting next to you right now. Okay.
Hey, he sees that rabbit too.
So that's the difference between a sociopath and a psychotic. So right now, in this example I decided you are seeing this event that took place, okay? And you're making a decision. Am I going to tell Mom that I took that jar down and I ate some of those cookies, knowing full well Mom's probably going to slap my hand and maybe not let me eat some cookies for a while? Or am I going to try to fake it and say, Mom, I didn't eat any of those cookies? Okay.
It didn't take me long to figure out somehow my mom had snuck in that cookie question after I told her I was going to take a lie detector test.
And maybe she won't punish me. Maybe she'll blame my brothers and sisters, okay? I know darn well I'm going to keep thinking about the fact that I did eat those cookies. Because based on my experience, whenever I lie, my brain keeps showing me the picture of me reaching up, taking those cookies. So when that happens, that's called repression. And in a polygraph test, I play the role of your mother asking you that question, okay? Did you rob the bank? Did you steal the money? Did you
Wait a minute, what exactly had my mom told this guy anyway?
steal the cookies? Okay. Or did you start the fire? Did you, whatever the topic of the polygraph test is. And if you're the one that started a fire, you're going to have a clear memory of lighting the match or pouring the gasoline, okay? You'll know the details that only the person that started the fire has, okay? So that is how the polygraph works. It's important everybody I polygraph understands how polygraph works, okay? Because a lot of people have an unnecessary fear of how the polygraph works.
Fear? Does this look like fear?
Okay, can I give you one more cue?
Yeah.
Can you move forward 15 minutes and describe?
Okay. I hear a loud sound. High energy. Rushing. I guess that would be under vibrationals. Rushing. Energy. Forward movement.
Because knowing how the polygraph works also reinforces, if they're going to lie, how they're going to get caught too. So it has a double benefit. It reinforces, if you're going to tell the truth, that we're going to show your honesty, and it reinforces, if you're going to lie, that we're going to catch you on the repression. So
After a lifetime of lies and repression, I was hoping Ted Pulver was just going to stick to the Bigfoot questions.
now, what we're going to do is we're going to ask you questions, and we're going to go over what you want to be asked questions about, okay? So now we're going to get to the point where we're going to develop the relevant questions that we're going to be asking.
questions he was going to ask me, I was starting to get a little bit confused. Previously, I had submitted via email a series of questions, all of which were designed to eliminate me as having anything to do with putting the blood in the tent in the Cascade Bigfoot Blood Mystery. Now, he was asking me to submit even more questions. I suddenly realized that the questions themselves were going to be a part of the polygraph examination.
So let's talk about that. And no matter what information people call me up about, like the gentleman that just called me up on the phone and he said, hey, his mother-in-law is accusing him of molesting his own children. Okay. That thing came back hard DI. So, and he's denying it, of course, so he wants to take a polygraph test before it becomes, police and all that contacting him. He wants to nip it in the bud, and which is fine. Or maybe I'll find out that he is, God forbid, doing that. They came back hard on you. It was harsh. In your case, what we're going to do is find out whether or not the encounters that you're talking about are correct or not. So please inform me what you'd like to be tested about.
Okay, I sent you a list of questions and I actually left a few of them out. So I want to...
And by the way, that's very common. That's why on the day of the polygraph test, I always do this with the person the moment of the polygraph. We go over this.
Okay, so first question to establish my location. Was I present in the Cascade Mountains north of Colville on June 23rd, 2023? June 21st, 2023.
That's relatively recent.
Oh no, Ted Pulver probably thinks I'm lying. This is not starting off well. I'm sorry.
I mean,
That's next in the future. I'm sorry, I'm still asleep. 2021. For the next 20 minutes, Ted Pulver and I went over the questions I had submitted, and I submitted new questions that were designed to reinforce and to eliminate any possibility that I could have something to do with the Cascade Bigfoot Blood Mystery. As we went along, I began to realize more and more that the questions themselves were becoming a large part of the polygraph examination, and the more we ventured into it, the less I knew what was actually going on.
Can you on the emotional column? Do you see
Yeah.
what we got?
Yes. High motion fright. Dog barking. A big emotion, and kind of like there's two emotions.
Okay.
Two emotions.
Can you describe?
One is humorous. One is like shocking.
Once we finished compiling a final list of questions, I wanted to make it clear to Mr. Ted Pulver that I needed to be asked the most direct questions, questions that would not only absolve me of having anything to do with the blood mystery, but questions that were designed to overlap and to cross-reference each other so that if there was any change in one response, it would affect the other responses. Now, okay, so that's done. So, can you ask me point blank, did you leave the blood samples in the tent? Can you ask me that?
Is that all you want to do?
I mean, like when you get done with all this, I just want you to point out, just ask me, did you leave? I mean, we haven't got to that yet.
Is you've just given me a long narrative with all sorts of things. Are you telling me the truth? Now I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions that are going to be comparison questions and such for me to be able to gauge whether you're telling me the truth on the relevant questions. But I'm going to ask you a couple of questions now, and then I'll test you and make a decision on whether this long narrative that I wrote down, whether you're telling me the truth on this. All right?
Okay, and Ted, just so that's the first movie. That's everything in it. So anybody that watches the movie, they can say he's lying about that. He's lying about that. So am I? Let's see.
Yeah. Well, that's what I assume that's what you're here to find out.
Right.
Okay. So now I'm going to get to work. Okay. All right. So, did you lie to me about the events of June 23, 2021? Yes or no?
So far, the test had been nothing that I had expected or anything that I'd ever seen on TV or in the movies. I wasn't hooked up to any apparatus. There were no needles popping across a graph.
Is there anything that you perceive that you haven't described yet? Before we do a summary. We'll do an interim summary.
Just getting that big being again.
Okay.
Being plan.
Just go ahead and write it down.
Okay. A big consciousness. Expanding.
Okay, let's go over the questions that the computer and I have worked out. Are you here to tell me the truth?
Yes.
Okay, on the polygraph test, you're only going to answer yes or no. Regarding if you told me the full truth about if you've been truthful in telling me the events about June 23rd, 2021, do you intend to tell me the full truth?
Yes.
Are you completely convinced that I will only ask you questions that we're reviewing right now?
Yes.
Have you lied to someone who's trusted you in the past?
Yes.
Okay. Did you lie to me about your investigation about the events of June 23rd, 2021?
No.
Before the age of 50, did you ever lie about something big, so serious, that it harmed someone?
No.
Did you lie to me about your investigation about June 23rd, 2021?
No.
Before this year, did you ever lie to your employer for a financial gain?
Had I ever lied to my employers? What did this have to do with Bigfoot? I guess I was thankful I'd never taken up the fine art of embezzlement.
No.
From my vantage point in the chair, I could not see what Ted Pulver was doing, but suddenly I heard him hitting buttons. Hey, what was he doing that for? Was he recording that? What was wrong with my answer? What happened to Bigfoot? What was going on here, and why was I being asked about a possible criminal past that I just didn't have?
Is there something else that you're afraid I'm going to ask you a question about, even though I told you I would not?
By that time, there was plenty I didn't want to be asked about, but I figured as long as he didn't ask me anything dirty, I'd probably be okay.
No. Okay. Okay, so basically, I'm going to attach components. There's going to be components that are going to go around your bicep, around your chest, and around your fingertips. Nothing goes inside you.
Nothing goes inside me? Well, if I knew there was any kind of question about something going inside of me, I certainly wouldn't be here.
It's important that during the test you don't move, and you just answer the questions yes or no. And you just, when the pressure's around your arm, you just pretend like you're a statue. Okay? When the pressure's off your arm, then you can move around all you want. Okay? So what years were you?
82 to 86.
Okay.
As polygraph expert Ted Pulver began to wire me in, securing the straps around my chest tightly and putting sensors onto my fingertips and then wiring them directly into his computer, I knew that this was going to be more of the polygraph that I expected and was going to grant me a lot more legitimacy, at least if I passed the polygraph.
Okay, I'm going to increase the pressure around your arm. And then when you feel that pressure, then you just pretend like you're a statue. Then I'm going to ask you a stupid question about the lighting. Make certain that the instrumentation's working well since you're the first test of the day. Calibration check. By the way, each chart takes about 5 minutes, and then I'll give you a break. Yeah, I heard that they shut down Jungle Warfare School. Okay, first question's coming up, and I'm going to have you answer yes to the following question. Are the lights on?
Yes.
I'm going to have you answer no to the same question. Are the lights on?
No.
Okay, everything seems to be working good, so we're going to get on with the test. First question's coming on in about 10 seconds. Are you here to tell me the truth today?
Yes.
Regarding if you told me the full truth about if you've been truthful in telling me about the events of June 23rd, 2021, do you intend to tell me the full and complete truth?
Yes.
Okay, so the cue is move to the target event and describe it.
I think I was already moving there.
Yeah.
Powerful, overwhelming, just in awe. In awe.
Are you completely convinced I'm only going to ask you questions we talked about in advance?
Yes.
Have you lied to people who've trusted you in the past?
Yes.
Did you lie to me about your investigation about the events of June 23rd, 2021?
No.
Before the age of 50, did you ever lie about something so serious it harmed someone?
No.
Did you lie to me about your investigation on June 23rd, 2021?
No.
Before this year, did you ever lie to your employer for financial gain of any sort?
No.
Okay, relax for a minute. Next chart we're going to do, it's going to be in a slightly different order. Let me know when you're ready to go.
I'm ready. Well, okay, we've done the test, Ted, and before we even look at the results, I need to ask you a couple questions. The first thing is, you used the example of a psychotic when we started off, that there could be a little bunny rabbit sitting next to me. If I believe that, then I'm going to get a negative.
And that is why psychotic individuals, percentage of the population, based on what you see in New York and large cities.
And the Democratic Party.
Unfortunately. So what we have here is the upper graph shows respiration. The middle graph shows the galvanic skin response, which is basically your brain activity. And we measure it through the electronic stimuli to your sweat glands. And then we have your cardiovascular activity, which measures your increase in blood pressure as well as your blood rate. What we've got here, the conclusion in your reports.
Well, before we get to that,
And can I give you another cue?
Yes.
Can you describe the purpose of the event?
Event. Necessary? Necessary for growth? Evolution? Knowledge. Curiosity. Movement forward. It's like when, like a coach pushing you. Like when your coach pushes you, like you think you're at your limit, but he pushes you even further, or she pushes you even further. That's the subconscious association. Interaction necessary.
And that's probably because you might have some concerns about some areas. I don't know what's going on in your head. I came back where, here's where the polygraph computer came back inconclusive. Okay. Which is, it didn't come back deceptive, which is good. This came back inconclusive, which is sort of, in the gray area in between the two.
I tried to hide my excitement, but I had passed, and all the work that I had done in this project was now justified because I had passed a high-speed, computerized, military-trained polygraph expert who was recognized by counties all over Idaho, Washington, and Oregon. I couldn't be more happy. And inconclusive, I didn't even know what that meant. All I knew is I passed my polygraph test. And so I had nothing to do with the Cascade Bigfoot blood mystery, and whoever put that blood in that tent had nothing to do with me.
Deceptive criteria that we see in your charts.
Okay, can I show this to the camera? Knowing the results of the polygraph, naturally I was relieved But I still would not have been surprised had the results of the polygraph come back as what Mr. Ted Pulver describes as deceptive. And the reason for this is because if my subconscious had registered something that my conscious didn't, then wouldn't that show up in my physiological response? I don't know. I was going to have to talk to a hypnotist, and that was going to be the next stop on the Cascade Bigfoot Blood Mystery blood trail. So this is
That's the polygraph
deceptive.
computer.
This is deceptive,
No,
right?
that's inconclusive.
I know, but what's the red?
Deceptive.
Okay, but I'm very close to deceptive. No?
Close. You're inconclusive is your score.
Okay, so
Close don't cut it.
if I'm being charged with a crime, what are you going to tell the court?
That according to the computer, you're inconclusive, which means nothing. It means that it was not able to come up with a score for you.
Okay.
Okay. How about one more cue?
Okay.
No, describe the agent or entity most closely associated with the target event. Oh, no, just agent.
Agent. Okay.
You could use the word life instead of agent if you want. Very generally.
I mean, it's going to Bigfoot. Or
Yep, just write down whatever you're getting and
multi-dimensional beings. Or other dimensional.
okay, thanks. Anything else?
No, I just want to be there.
Okay.
Let's put that. I
Okay,
just want to be.
why don't be there?
And
why don't
it's exciting, and you're like, ah. I just want to be there.
What this is telling us is that it's like it almost didn't happen.
Well, no, what it's saying is that it wasn't able to form an opinion because you seemed confused, according to the computer. But according to my scoring, okay, my scoring was on whether you were lying, okay, and I did not see that you were lying. Okay, my scoring was on clearly whether you were lying, not whether you were being accurate or anything. It was on whether you were lying, and I came up with a positive 8 score, where all you need is a positive 5, and you came up with a positive 8.
Okay. 8 out of 10. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't have been surprised with any different result, but 8 out of 10 pretty much pointed out that I had no involvement with the Cascade Bigfoot Blood Mystery. Or, to put it in Ted Pulver's words, I wasn't lying.
You passed my numerical evaluation, period.
Okay. And the statement being?
The statement that you gave me that you did not fabricate it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So that's what you gave me, and that's what I tested you for, and you passed that.
Okay, so you're saying, what was the last you had?
So I got something male and intelligent.
Yeah.
And then something orb-like. The number 4. I don't know what that was. Vibrating, and then a very anxious feeling, almost like the vibration was coming from the chest area. And then from that, it was weird because it turned into an open, loving feeling. And then there was something coming from above, almost like a flow of energy from above, and a V shape. And then this flow from above was like a downward funneling of energy, and I kind of drew that in the phase 3 picture.
I was glad to have been passed on Ted Pulver's polygraph. That was a lot of pressure. I didn't understand what inconclusive meant, but he said I wasn't being deceptive, and that was enough for me. So where do we go from there? Once the polygraph examination was successfully completed, I contacted my associate producer, Todd Neese. He told me I needed to come down to Oregon and meet a friend of his, a hypnotherapist by the name of Doug Meacham.
Many man dies with secrets. Secrets can never be told. When you're in the grave, your secret is safe from lies on you. Maybe he's a child of mercy. Maybe he's a child of sin. But he's someone's child, so spare a thought. Spare a thought for him.
Hey Todd, what's happening? Good to see you, man.
Came through, and then I had another impression that there was this big bright orb that was sort of coming down like a mountain and maybe into this V, just coming down into there.
So what do you think we're going to find when we go through the session? I mean, you think we're going to see Bigfoot, or what do you think's going to happen?
Well, I've actually done it twice, and in both cases it was fascinating. The process that Doug Meacham uses is a very powerful tool, and to bring back memory regression, I would think our takeaway would be to get you into that state of mind, getting into your subconscious, and pulling out details that maybe you might or might not have recalled over time. Doug can bring out those memories.
I got sort of this old building with a basement that was musty. I think that was where the musty smell came in. And so I A-dashed that to let that go. And then again, I got sort of this ghost-like etheric being feeling. So I put that, let that go. And then also I A-dashed the male being.
It'll eliminate any possibility as to your involvement through this experience that you had. And I think that will go a long ways, along with the polygraph test, to show that you're being absolutely sincere and honest. And these are just two great methods to come to that conclusion.
Sister, she knew nothing. And if she did, she would keep her mouth shut. Yes, his secret was safe for him. Into the sun, faster, faster, see him run, Lord of man, oh man.
As I was sitting down on Doug Meacham's couch at the Gresham Hypnosis Center, just like the polygraph examination, I was having some serious concerns. I had no idea what was going on, and I certainly didn't want to get hypnotized and pee my pants or run around acting like a chicken.
I got the light blue color again, white. I got sort of a moving, circling motion, and then it sort of made me feel a little bit nauseous. And then it was like there was something that was turning slow, like a merry-go-round, but it was very slow. And then I got an impression of a being again, or beings. I got a cool and bright sensation in the lower right hand part of the target, and then again I got this energy from above coming down. And then
what I do with witnesses, people who have experienced whether it's Sasquatch or anything else, I use a combination of things in hypnosis. One of them is called ultra depth. Ultra depth is a process that really gets you super relaxed, which...
As Doug Meacham mentioned being super relaxed, I became super concerned. I would be so relaxed, I peed my pants. Well, I figured if I did, I could always edit it out later.
bypasses that critical part of your mind. Yeah, because that's the one that's going to get in the way. It's also the part that confabulates. It says, oh, hey, this sounds like a great idea. Let's say that. So we move that out of the way. And the way we do that is exercise. Not exercise, but relaxation. The other part of the process is something called a cognitive interview. And the cognitive interview is a structure that was actually developed in Stanford. The Los Angeles Police Department uses it. It's a structure of interview that allows us to go from before what happened and move through it. And then we can rewind it. We can drop you in the middle and have you go either way. Because if we can get continuity in all those directions, then we know that the memories are accurate.
As I listened to Douglas Meacham talking, it began to sound more like a polygraph test than a hypnotherapy session. But in the end, I was happy to have something else that would verify what took place during the events of the Cascade Blood Mystery. So I was willing to undergo the hypnotherapy session and see if there was anything that was registered in my subconscious that did not register in my conscious.
And I think that will go a long ways, along with the polygraph test, to show that you're being absolutely sincere and honest.
What my purpose is, more than anything, is to help you recall.
It's not a lie detector.
Aha, there it was. Lie detector. Even though he said it wasn't a lie detector,
It's not a lie detector.
it was still a way of detecting lies. It was a way for my associate producer Todd Neese and hypnotherapist Doug Meacham to find out if my story had any credibility whatsoever.
It's not going to prove anything other than we are able to get more information. And I will let you know that most of the people I work with are like, wow, I did not remember that. That's something that just came up. And then we validate it.
You're being absolutely sincere and honest.
That's how I do this. It's a really simple process. Your concerns I will address as well. One, no matter what you're doing, you're in control. No matter where we're at, no matter what I'm saying, you are in control. If you want to open your eyes and say, Doug, we are done, we are done. I can't keep you in hypnosis. Hypnosis, for this purpose, is like daydreaming on purpose. You're relaxed, you're lost in thought, you might lose a sense of time, you may not remember what someone said when they were talking to you. You might need to have a couple of, hey, Matt, before you come back. But just like in a daydream, you're going to come back if you need to come back.
I couldn't see any reason for Doug to have to bring me back, unless, of course, I peed my pants.
I felt like something was tethered, like a leash, maybe to another reality or something. And got another floating sensation and felt really a high energy, a high vibration, but it was very mellow and calm, but at the same time, very high frequency. And then there was like sort of a gentleness and a kindness coming through.
So when this session is done, what are the possible outcomes that you foresee?
The outcome is that you remember more.
Okay.
And we do it accurately.
Okay. And so you were trying to bring out what I saw, not in my conscious, but what was registered in my subconscious. Is that
right,
correct?
Exactly, because this is what happens. Your conscious mind actually runs about 5% of what you do during the day. It's the questioner, it's the motivator, it's the, right. And it also is very, very skeptical. The subconscious mind is the part that runs about 95% of your perceptions and your behaviors. Short-term memory is in conscious mind. Long-term memory gets transferred to your subconscious mind. Everything you have ever experienced, saw, done, said is in your subconscious mind. Now, there are memories that are pristine because you had them and we never bring them up. Every time we recall a memory, we modify it. And so the conscious mind is doing that. So when we bypass the conscious mind, the critical faculty, then we are able to speak directly to that part of your brain that stores the memories. And that's just going to be, okay, I'm going to take you back to the date and we're going to start here. Tell me what's happening. And those memories will bubble up so you can get the best results.
Okay. I'm ready to go.
All right, fantastic. All right.
Let's be real. It's not like I have any choice. It's too late to back out now.
Just imagine what it would be like. Be breathing through your heart, okay? And I want you to think about something that you're really grateful for. Just breathe that for a little while. I'm going to shake your hand again. Remember, this time, every breath you exhale, every beat of your heart, going deeper and deeper, more and more relaxed. So that when I drop your arm onto the chair again, you can just let yourself As I touch your shoulder here, I want you just to trust your unconscious mind. Just trust your unconscious mind, Matt, to take you exactly where you need to go.
As I fell deeper and deeper into a hypnotic state, I was thoroughly surprised. First of all, I was fully conscious of everything that was going on around me, but I could not, for the life of me, move any part of my body. I was completely limp.
And with every number that I count, I want you to become aware of that number.
As much as I was hoping for a different result, for the next 20 minutes, Doug Meacham took me over the event, back and forth, again and again. I go to the tent.
Okay, so you walk by the side, then you walk to the front. The tent is closed. Stop there. And I want you to tell me what you're aware of. I'm going to shake your hand again. Remember, this time, I just want you to breathe. Okay? I want you to focus your attention on your heart. Okay? Just focus your attention on your heart. Your eyes are going to start to close. They're going to start to close. They're going to start to close. But I don't want you to close your eyes. You just notice it closing. Your eyes closing, 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 but not closing.
But in spite of all of his best efforts, nothing changed in the recollection, at least from my subconscious.
Not closing at all. All right. And just watch here. All right. All right. Sleep.
What did this mean? Well, it meant that the story that I gave had not changed any, but it also meant that there was nothing unusual in what happened, at least until...
And then in my A dashes, the color orange, like an orange orb that I have seen before, so I A dash that. And then a being with that felt female at this point, and the eyes were blue-black. And I think there might be more.
10 to 1, and on 1, you'll open your eyes and be fully aware back in this room. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, wide awake. Take a deep breath. Would you like a little bit more water? How do you feel?
I'm fine. When you were asking me,
Yes.
to look, I think there's something there, but I don't see it. Igor, did you put this blood in the tent?
What does Igor say?
How would I put the blood in the tent? It's on your side. I didn't put the blood in the tent. How would I put that blood in the tent? I don't know. I have to clean it up, though. I'll clean it up.
And what happens next? I want you to, again, from the perspective of making breakfast, I want you to allow your perception to widen, and I want you to become aware of your campsite. I want you to become aware of your campsite, almost as though, let's imagine that you're a drone, and you're up, and you can see from above down below. And just very slowly, pan through, and tell me what you see.
I don't know what it is. There's nothing there.
Okay.
But I think there's something there. I think it's brown. And I don't see it. But I don't see it. I don't know it. It's not there.
Why do you think it's brown?
Because it's brown. Because it's brown.
So you're aware of something brown?
I'm not aware of it.
Okay. All right. So why do you think that it's there, and why do you think that it's brown?
It's like a movie.
Okay.
And it's like the pixels in the movie change into brown.
Okay.
But they don't stay brown. They're just brown, and I don't see them. I don't know that they're even there.
Okay.
But I don't think that everything is... I don't think everything is normal. But I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't see it, and I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
What did you get for origin?
Origin, well,
Of the oily.
I kind of got, I got that it came from the being.
Okay.
So I'll put that under.
I just want to go home.
There you go. All right. Can you do me a favor? Hold out your hand like this. Good. Now hold out your other hand. Just let it go. All right. Rest your head back and put your hands down.
No matter how hard I tried, I could not get the image of this object or whatever it was out of my mind. And the more I thought about it, the more I wanted to look and see if I could tell what it was. The fact was, I'd never seen anything like it before, and I could not stop thinking about it. I had to be able to see if there was something actually there. So I had to keep going back for yet another look.
And when you're ready to come back fully and completely,
There's something there.
All right.
And I don't want to say there's something there, but it's like,
Well, describe.
It's just a pixelation. It's brown.
All right.
It's not a form.
All right.
It's a pixelation. It's a bunch of squares.
So you know that something's there. You have that feeling. What's the feeling like?
There's something there, but yeah. There's just something there, and I don't know if it's there.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm just making it up. But there's something brown. And it's very bright. And this is brown, and I'm looking at it like a TV. And so in that spot, and it's on the side of the tent. It's by the table. It's by Igor. And it's not a form. It's brownish red, maybe.
How does that make you feel?
I just don't know.
Okay. All right. So you see, you're aware of this form, but you're not sure that it's there or if it is there. It's as though you're looking at it like you're watching TV, and it's pixelated, but you perceive something is there. And how does that feel to you? What are you thinking right now?
I didn't see it when I was there.
All right.
I only see it now. So, and it's not like I see it. It's like I just see a brown patch.
Okay.
A brown patch.
And you say that it is by Igor. It's by the table.
It's just there.
Okay. And where else do you notice it?
It's just there. It didn't move. It didn't go anywhere. Right now, it's just I'm looking at it, as you said, to look above. And from above, there's something brown that doesn't match anything else.
Okay.
And I think that doesn't fit. It doesn't go with the environment.
And how does that feel to you? What's that mean?
I don't know what it is. I don't know if I see it. I just don't know.
Okay, I'm going to bring you back, and you're going to come back completely. All right? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, eyes open. Go ahead, take it. There you go. Come back out. Have some water.
that's really something. After my hypnotherapy session with Doug Meacham, the final tally was about 50-50 because on the one hand, we did not find any extra subconscious memory or anything that would have pointed to an awareness of the agent who put the blood in the tent. On the other hand, it was pretty much consensual between Todd Neese and Doug Meacham that my story was definitely authentic and that all of the details did not change over the course of the different methods of memory recall. For my documentary, Cascade Bigfoot, Blood Mystery, Remote Viewed. During the filming of that movie and the subsequent editing, there was not time to include this segment of the interview in the original Cascade Bigfoot, Blood Mystery, Remote Viewed. So here is Tish Paquette inside the tent of the Cascade Bigfoot, Blood Mystery. All right, so I'll just show you this very quickly. This is pretty much how it was, and right where you're standing, pretty much right in front of you, that was where the blood was. So,
were you guys sleeping parallel like this?
We were.
Because that's what I see, and I feel a really heavy the tent seemed a little more when I saw it from above. The tent was a little more angled when I saw it, and on this side, Sasquatch. With red terracotta color. But you also had an energy over in this corner that was not Sasquatch. I mean, this one I get a really strong, very cautionary, very not as friendly, very observant energy. Over here, yes, observant, but no harm, no anything. They're just watching you.
Okay, so if you're looking at the site and we're looking at the video, on this side there's really nothing, and then on this side there's a table here, and then was the presence you'd sense, is that a human?
No,
not human. Okay,
it's not human, it's something else over here, but it's not the same energy as Sasquatch, it's not, but it's another energy, another presence, non-human.
Okay.
Is what I would say non-human.
Can you tell me how it got there? How it got here?
In terms of how it arrived, it was just there.
They
were watching you. They've been watching you the whole time. They knew you were here. They knew your intention. Sasquatch in particular understands intention. You also, so you've gone to this place several times?
Oh, that was the first time.
Okay. But this tent you went back to.
Right.
Because there's still a lot of energy on this tent. That's why I needed to know if this tent's been there before, because there's still a lot of energy, because I still get a lot of tingling from residual energy. About 3, roughly. There's further. What was it just trees, or were there rocks?
Trees, just trees. And.
But if you go further back, and was there water? Where was the water?
Right to the left.
Okay, because that's where I'm sensing the water. Okay, good. Well, there has to be some rocks over there. Sorry, I'm just saying.
Well, what there is a picnic table, and those are made out of concrete and wood.
Oh, okay.
So which another remote viewer picked up on right away.
Okay, that makes sense. Also, I don't recommend coming to this space again until late summer. And the reason is I'm getting a feeling that over here is more of a birthing. There are babies that they protect, so they're keeping an eye on you. This one's curious just about humans and how much you know, trying to assess human intelligence.
All right, can we go back to the birthing thing?
Yes.
That blood looked like birth. It looked
like placenta type blood?
Yes, it was so creamy and rich.
Yeah. Well, this is the feeling I'm getting over here is kind of like a nursery. They come here to give birth, and it's close to the water, but they get to see, so they were observing to make sure you meant no harm. But the point being is, do not come here in the spring. Wait till later summer, when so they don't feel threatened, so that they don't have to do anything to scare you off. Over here, this one's just very curious. This one kind of tags on. It would almost be like, you know how we suspect or see, or there's evidence that every time there's a Sasquatch, there may be an ET energy exchange, but that's kind of what this feels like. Okay, so it's kind of like from that realm, but not necessarily a gray or something like that, and it's not a dog man, but something different, okay? Oh. Did you, how do I ask this? Actually, did you notice anything in the sky that night or any?
Absolutely.
Okay, because this looks like a Nordic. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, because this now has morphed into a really tall, thin. I've seen this before on some other person's property. So it was just a glimpse kind of showing me that, and then retreated back. But this is protecting their young. And they kind of laugh at us. They laugh at humans. We are comical to them. They're very, they are very, I don't want to necessarily say primal, because they're highly intelligent and they know a whole lot more than we do. We're the primal ones.
Yeah, but think of what he's thinking about me. I mean, that blood was in the tent and I threw it away.
Oh.
So they must think I'm a complete fool.
Oh, no.
But can we just, on the remote viewing,
Yes.
they talk about purpose and intent.
Mm-hmm.
Can you get anything that talks about purpose and intent for why they did that or would do that?
Well, I can. I'm not sure it's something you want to hear. They're like, oh, here's another one. Here's another one trying to prove us. Here's another one trying to get more evidence than anyone else has gotten. And that wasn't the point. The point is, and you mentioned the blood, and it's not about the blood. It's about your journey and where it's going to take you. But it's more of a personal journey.
Return of the blood samples I submitted to the University of California, Davis Veterinary Lab were somewhat unusual at best. The fact was, they were returned only a few days after I had submitted them. Now, before I opened the package, I was in great anticipation because I thought possibly they had been so concerned about what was in the sample that they had foregone the 6-month waiting period they had promised me, taken my $1,000 and gone ahead with the testing, and here were the results. Well, that's not exactly what happened. Four days ago, I went ahead and I mailed this. This is the blood sample that was taken on June 23rd of 2021. I mailed this just 4 days ago with the specific instructions that this was going to take at least 4, possibly 6 months. So I was going to wait 4 to 6 months and release my first movie about the subject, which is Cascade Bigfoot Blood Mystery Remote Viewed. But now that I have these results back so fast, of course, we have to speculate because the envelope actually has not been opened yet. I was going to open it yesterday, and I said, wait a minute, I need to actually record me opening the envelope. So here it is. This is from, this is the return package from the University of California, Davis. And I am now opening the envelope. And as I open the envelope, I just want to tell you that there are just a few possibilities. Obviously, they have not tested the sample because they have not taken any money from my account. So they sent it back without testing it, and we are going to find out why. So here is the letter that they have sent to me, and I will read it to you. Hello, Mr. Hindsight. I guess that they think my last name is Hindsight. I was forwarded your correspondence with Ms. Kuhn based on the content therein. The veterinary lab will not be able to provide testing services as the questions you are asking cannot be answered by the tests we perform. Good luck moving forward. Robert A. Gran, PhD, Associate Director of Service, Forensic and Test Development. So basically what this is saying is that they found out that, we were looking for Bigfoot blood and we're not going to test your sample. There's no reason why, and so that's another thing that we have to find out. Now, obviously, they're not going to test it because they found out, you're talking about Bigfoot blood. Because in my correspondence, I specifically said that they would find, if it was in the odd possibility that it was Bigfoot blood, they would find that it was female mitochondrial DNA and unknown male, which was what Melba Ketchum found. So there you have it. Here is my response from the UC Davis Veterinary Lab, the #1 lab in the United States. Now, naturally, I was a little bit disappointed when I got the results of the DNA testing from the University of California, Davis. I thought they were actually going to go through with the results. But on the brighter side, at least they didn't charge me $1,000 and then do nothing. So they sent me the test back, and as you can see, the reason they sent the test back was because I alluded to the fact that it might be Bigfoot DNA they were looking at.
Okay, do you want to just, the way we do it in CRVs, just read out what the summary is, to someone that hadn't just heard what we just went through? What would you describe as at the target site?
Okay, so interim summary is there's a male intelligence with an oily, slick feeling, a being. He's dark colored and red eyes, smells musty and pungent, and mildew smell. There's land with trees that's rocky, sandy and steep. The energy is a high vibration with an unusual frequency, and then a rushing forward energy. The emotions are high, and there's an emotion of fright, a very high energy, and then there seems like there's two emotional sources. They're both very big emotion, but one was like humorous and one was like shocking. And then the purpose is exploration, curiosity, contact, learning, and knowledge. That's what I have so far.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Terry. So this, just for people that have never seen CRV session before, this is by the book, CRV protocol, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Where you just write everything down and you don't interpret it, you just record it. So thanks for the session, and
Okay.
I'll get back to you.
All right, thanks. Bye, everybody.
So, with Doug Meacham's hypnotherapy session out of the way, with the polygraph session finished, with the DNA test not finished, we have basically come to the end of the Cascade Bigfoot Blood Mystery, at least the blood trails part, because we have found that the hoax question of it is not a possibility. Did I see Bigfoot in my subconscious? No, I didn't. Did I see something in my subconscious? A definite possibility. Did the DNA testing, did it come up with anything other than the fact we cannot rely on science to answer any of these questions? And that is not really a surprise to me. So, in the end of the Cascade Bigfoot Blood Mystery,
it's this right here. I'm getting this. Describe this. I was getting this leader, getting 4 years, segments of education, segments of leader, of a good man. Admire the central figure. Yes, sir. He's got skill. He's got some skill. Skill with tools also.
From that realm, but not necessarily a gray or something like that, and it's not a dog man, but something different, okay? Oh. Did you, how do I ask this? Actually, did you notice anything in the sky that night or any?
absolutely.
Okay, because this looks like a Nordic. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, because this now has morphed into a really tall, thin. I've seen this before on some other person's property. So it was just a glimpse kind of showing me that, and then retreated back.
Investigate this, think about it, and then come up with your own conclusion. And remember, at Encounters USA, what we always say, and that is always watch your back.